Hi, my name is Amalie Iuel, and I run the 400 hurdles. Carolina Clift, the heptathlete. I was always amazed at how talented she is all around. Yeah, so that's kind of what got me into doing a lot of different events, because I wanted to be just like her. And so yeah, I did the heptathlon a little bit while I did the 400 hurdles, but in the end I found out that the 400 hurdles was more for me. So. I'd never tried it before. When I moved to Thailand for high school, my coach, he saw that I could kind of run the hurdles, so the short hurdles, and that I was an okay 400 runner, so he was like, let's put them together and see how you're doing in the 400 hurdles. And I was like, that sounds like a terrible idea. Like, the 400 is already hard enough, why would you start putting things in the way? I mean, that just sounds like an awful event. But I decided to give it a go, and I thought it was, I really enjoyed it. I mean, it was more of a challenge for me than the 400, which I really enjoyed. I mean, so the love for that event grew tremendously within a short period of time, so yeah. I like sports where there's a lot happening, so I think I couldn't see myself spending that much time on the golf course, just because I'm a loud person and I like the intensity of sports. So I'm not saying it would be boring for me, but it's just not really like up my alley. So I'd probably go watch swimming. I love individual sports where it's kind of focused on just one person or the individual versus team sports. So probably swimming. And you said gymnastics as well? Yeah, I think that's pretty, I mean, that's fascinating. Gymnastics has always been something that fascinates me, because they're so acrobatic and they're doing things that just seems crazy to me, and I would never attempt any of those things myself, but that's why I have the luxury of going to watch them do it. It's an art, so I'd probably watch that too. I mean, as an athlete, I feel privileged going to that meet and getting the opportunity to run at that specific stadium. There's, like you said, there's a lot of history that's been taking place on that stadium, so just knowing that I'll be there this summer is motivating, and it's inspiring. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, having a big audience definitely helps set the tone. You come out there and you feel the audience, you feel the presence of them, you feel like the roars of that many people cheering you on. It does something, and it's really special. So it definitely gets you more pumped up. But of course, you can't let it take your focus away. You still gotta remain calm and remain focused on what you're supposed to do. So it could, I mean, I've seen it make or break other people before, so you still gotta stay in your little bubble, but it definitely helps you get amped and excited about the race. It does. I think the number one thing is to try to stay patient. In a lot of times you see athletes, they're so eager to get results and make their way to the top that they put too much pressure on themselves, and they let the external pressure kind of get to them. And that's what you sort of want to avoid. You want to try to go in there with a relaxed mindset, and just know that it all takes time. And especially an event like the 400 hurdles, you typically see that the people that are succeeding there are a little bit older, with the exception of my teammate, Carson Warholm. He's an exception to that rule. But yeah, usually you want to kind of have that mindset of just being relaxed and patient. It was actually one specific meet. It was my first hurdle meet of the year in 2015. Where I had a big breakthrough from the year before, and I felt that I'd had a good fall season and off season. I'd been training really, really well, and then when you run through that finish line and you see the time on the board and you can't even believe it yourself. Yeah, it was one of those races, and that's when I that's when I really knew that I could actually potentially become like, or make my way up there. I have kind of like an 80-20 thing going on. Like I eat like 80% what I really need, and all the nutrients that I need, and all the grains and dairy and all the protein, like I need to fulfill all that in my diet. And then I have kind of 20 where I allow myself to have a couple of cheat meals in the week. I try not to restrain myself too much, because then I just end up going crazy. I've had like, and so I cut out like all sweets and all that, and I just drive myself insane. And it's also like, it's always like kind of like a mental thing for me. I feel more relaxed if I just let myself, you know, just have a little bit once in a while. So I wouldn't say I'm like super strict like some athletes, but I allow myself a cheat day once in a while. I do. Yeah.
So,
trying to set an example. I'll wake up around 8 or 9 and go have my breakfast, and spend a long time having the breakfast, because within our group we're very focused on not getting too tense before a race, because that could potentially break you if you get all like nervous like days in advance. It's not going to help you at all. You still have a long time till your race is actually going off. So we try to just take it chilled and relaxed during the breakfast, and we'll laugh and have fun and crack jokes, and people around us are gonna like they'll look at us and like, what are they doing? They're so not focused. Like, aren't they supposed to be racing today? What's going on? But we'll have like little silly competitions, like who can eat a yogurt the fastest using a fork, or not the fastest, but use the least amount of forks to finish the yogurt, if you know what I mean. And it's so stupid. It's like really pointless thing to do, but it takes our mind off of the race, and it just kind of makes us relax a little bit. So after that, I'll go back to my room and kind of take my time just getting ready for the race, and just turn on some good music and not think about it too much, because I mean, we've prepared for this in advance. Like, we've done all the groundwork, we've done all that. The foundation is laid out. Now it's just a matter of showing what we've been working on. So there's no point in having all these thoughts running through your head yet. And then we leave about, like, we give ourselves enough time, so we're at the stadium around 2 hours to go before race start, before call room. And then we kind of just sit down and take a breather, and then we enter our bubble. And that's where there's like 100% focus, and we do our warm-up and all our pre-race rituals and everything that we do. And then we go into call room, and we, lay it out on the track when we get there. I mean, it's not really dependent on the result in that sense. Like, I have when you finish a race, you go out, you cool down, and maybe you get worked on, kind of get a little flush. You flush the race out of your legs and all that. Especially if you're getting ready for our next round, it's important to kind of try to get yourself ready for that. And sometimes it involves like an ice bath or like a contrast. But yeah, I don't really have like more of a ritual than that. The temptations that you have, or that come at you. But I mean, if you're focused and you know what you want, then those aren't really sacrifices, so to speak. It's just something that you don't really do. So I won't say that I'm sacrificing anything for the sport, just because I'm so motivated and so focused on making it, so that I don't let myself get tempted that way.
Like chocolate or something?
Chocolate's my weakness. But like I said, 80-20, right? Not 20-80. But yeah, so as long as I kind of keep it at 80-20, then I can allow myself like a little chocolate once in a while, or once a day, after dinner. No, so, but yeah, chocolate is definitely a weakness of mine, it is. I just kind of take a look at myself, and I think first off, how privileged I am to be standing there that day, and how much work I put into it, and how I deserve to be here, and I deserve to I get the results that I want. I deserve to make it happen, you know? So I'm just trying to fill myself with positive energy. There's no room for negativity at that point. There shouldn't be any negativity. So yeah, just try to block all that out, all the bad stuff, and just go in with a positive attitude and yeah, think about how privileged I am. Actually, the previous European Championship in Amsterdam, in the semifinals, where I got the Norwegian record and the Olympic standard. It was something I worked hard for all season, and I've been kind of chasing the times. And then I like filled myself with so much nerves, and I was so set on like making it to the Olympics that year. And so before every race, I was like, there was just too much pressure on me. So before this race, I was like, okay, this is my last opportunity, but you know what? I'm not gonna stress about it. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna, you know, relax and have fun with it. And then I mean, I ran my fastest time ever and got the qualifying standard. So it was definitely a good moment in my career. It's probably the one I remember the most as well. Just feeling that I've done everything I can in a race and just being proud of it, and just thinking to myself that, wow, I really deserve this and I did it. That's the moment I'm looking for.